Hello everybody, this is Cheri at djsundry.blogspot.com, and I am so excited that you are joining me today as I do a walkthrough through my brand new Everyday Life Planner from Close to My Heart. Now, I'm not going to do a walkthrough in the sense that I'm going to point out all of the features and the great things about this planner, although there are many of them, but I've already done that. As I promised in that video last month, I am going to show you what I am using for my planner. Now, if you watch my most recent planner video, you are aware that I am scaling way back on my decorating in my daily planners. I just don't have time. And I'm focusing most, if not all, of that decorating time into this planner. So I do want to show you very briefly some of the items that are available to go along with the planner. This is of course the planner binder that you can purchase from Close to My Heart, and then separately you can purchase the planner inserts. This is just a quick glance of what they look like. You have, I'm going to come over here to February, you have a month on 2 pages, followed by a week, oops, can't get my fingernails under there, a week on 2 pages through there. The color scheme is basically tri-colored, and what I mean by that is there are 3 basic colors. There's, you know, this lavender color, and then a minty green, and then this, it's probably hollyhock or something similar to it. I actually never really looked up the colors to see what they were. And then they just rotate through the whole year. So every 3 months you start the pattern over again. And so that is the insert. Now the insert also comes with this pocket page that you see right here, and then these stickers that fit in the pocket page. So that is one pack. Then separately you can also purchase page protectors. There are 2 different options for that, and I have you'll see when I do the planner that I'm using already this 4x6 where you get 2 4x6 slots on one page. So that's one option. The other option is you have room to put in 4 3x4 different cards and or photographs, which I'm using my selfie printer for this a lot, and it's working really well. In addition to that, there is also this fun little stamp that has different sayings and then water and hearts that you can use in your planner. And I actually do use this in my other planner as well. And then along specifically for this is this washi tape, which I will show you. I will point that out because I've already used it in my planner. Now this month, the month of January, there is an exclusive little card packet that you can also get. And this is in celebration of National Paper Crafting Month, and this is a fun packet. It has 4x6 cards, and then it also has 3x4 cards. And I have to tell you, there are 2 things I love about these cards. First of all, this particular set is gorgeous, and I love the versatility of it. But second of all, what I like is that the patterns are the same on the front of the card as they are on the back of the card. So I can use this when I'm scrapbooking my picture of my life, or I can use it in my journal, whichever I want, and I can choose whichever configuration works best and then put something else on the back side. Another thing about these cards is they are very good for the planner because they actually have months, and then they've got these blank cards that just say birthdays, and I'll show you how I've incorporated that. So let's jump into the planner. Before I do though, there's also one other item that is designed for the Everyday Life Planner, and it's called the My Crush packet, and it has some different dividers or page inserts or something that you can use. I haven't purchased that because it's not really what I am looking for my planner. So when I saw this planner and pulled it out, I knew exactly what I was going to be using it for. I am going to be using this for my goals and my journaling. I am a terrible journaler, and so I wanted to really make a concerted effort to keep up with my journaling this year, and I have to say, so far I'm doing really well, but I'm going to show you why this works so well for that. To start it out, we're going to move to our month on 2 pages. So what I've done, and I just noticed I haven't written anything on yesterday or today, but what I've done is on this month on 2, I have started decorating. You see our washi tape up here. I've written in a quote, kind of a inspirational quote at the top. It says, "Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year," and that's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And then at the bottom I have another quote, and it says, "Resolution 1, I will live for God. Resolution 2, if no one else does, I still will." And that quote is by a preacher from the 1700s named Jonathan Edwards. So I put those in there. And then I just started having fun. So if I have a day that I have something that I really want to remember, I go ahead and write it in. So like on this day, this was my 25th anniversary, and you're going to be seeing more about this as we go along. But I used an ampersand stamp that I had. I think it was from Me and My Big Ideas. I'm not sure. It may be one of ours, I don't remember. And then I put our names in that it was 25. And then I had some blank places, so I cut some pieces. This is from the Zoe paper packet, and I cut them to fit the squares and covered it up. Now, yes, I covered up the dates when I did that, but it doesn't really matter to me because I'm leaving enough places where you can see dates that it doesn't matter. This is my fun decorating one. This is not one that I'm worried about keeping my next doctor's appointment, because that's not in here at all. And then some special celebrations I kind of put on the side. So then when we turn the page, this is where the end of December would have been in the weekly planner. Well, I didn't want to start with December at all, so I took more of the Zoe paper and I just started cutting and taping it down and trimming and having fun with it. And then I took my January card and then I wrote out my January birthdays and I put it in here, so it's all there and ready to go. So and then I added my first photo page, and this is also from this same card pack. It says, "The beginning is always today," which kind of goes along with the quote that I have by Ralph Waldo Emerson in the first part. And then I just hand wrote my 2016, and then I printed a photograph of my husband and I on our 25th wedding anniversary celebration. So he and a friend of mine and our kids and I helped some, we came up with, and we had a great celebration with family and friends that day. So then on the back side, I took another project. This is actually a Project Life card that I had in my stash. I think it's from the Jade collection. And it says, "Remember these times," and I put the date on here as January 8th, 2015. And then I used my selfie printer and printed off 2 photographs, but I made it onto one page. One of my husband and I and one of my kids when we went on a celebration, as not really a celebration, but a family trip. And then I've started journaling. So this is a quick tip that I did. I started this and I did my journaling on here, and I actually had a plan of what I wanted to do. I put this tape in. This is some of our glitter tape, and I had put this in, and I knew that I wanted to put something about 25 up in this corner. So I kind of let that go for a couple days and went on and went journaling. Went to the other side and did some journaling here, and you see the 2 tones here. Well, what happened is I use friction pins because I love my friction pins. I have a nice big set of friction pins that I use because they're erasable and I make mistakes and I can redo it. So I had gotten this far on Monday and I went back and I put in my little 25 and I heat embossed it. And then I went on to journal the next day and this was all gone. You may be aware that the friction pins are erasable by friction. Well, I have now learned that they are erasable by heat. So if you're going to be heat embossing it, do it before you do your journaling because it all disappeared. So what I did is, first of all, I put it in the freezer and it came back to this kind of pinky color, whereas the purple was more the color that it was. And I started going back over the top of it, and then I thought, nope, I'm just gonna leave it. Lesson learned. It's kind of fun. It's a fun thing to learn and to tell people about. So then I start, again, I'm decorating. It's not over the top. It's pretty simple decorating. And I'm going through and I'm journaling something every day. Now there's been once or twice where I've had to go back the next day and journal from the day before, but so far that's the furthest off that I've been. So that's exciting to me. So, and then I'm just finding stickers, whether it's from Close to My Heart or from somewhere else, and washi tape, and I'm just taping it in and going with it. Now this one's covered because this talks about our family day, and I try to just keep my location hidden. So that's all that that's about. So now we're moving into this week, and as you can see, today is actually the 13th, and I have actually done today's journaling, and you see this cute little box of Kleenexes here. And it's just because I haven't been feeling well actually for quite a while, and I finally broke down today and went to the doctor, and he gave me some antibiotics, so hopefully I'll be back up to snuff pretty soon. But in the meantime, I did this little I stamped, and I used Memento Tuxedo ink black because I used our Close to My Heart watercolor pencils to do the shading, and then I went very lightly with a light tone brush, or very light, not a light tone, but as dry as I could have it, and it still be wet enough to move the color around, because I didn't want it to get all crinkly and bubbly, and I didn't want to take time for it to dry. So I went ahead and did that with our watercolors, and the Memento Tuxedo Black is a little bit more fade resistant. But I want to show you on the back side of this down here. You might question how much bleed through you get, and I don't even know that the camera is hardly picking it up. And this sticker is already covering it, and so if I had done it without the sticker, it might be a little bit more noticeable. It is a little bit faded coming through, but not bad at all. And by the time you get the words over it, it's not bad. I have in some of my other planners, because I just print them myself, I have found that when I stamp in them, sometimes it bleeds through so much it drives me crazy. This does not. So that's using Memento. I have heard that using our exclusive black ink, I believe, they haven't noticed fade through at all. I haven't started stamping a lot in this, so time will tell, but I'm very optimistic that it's not going to be bad. Now, I wouldn't be putting heavy pigment inks on here because I don't think that would work well. So that is what I'm doing. This is my journal. What I love about it and why I wanted to share it with you today is because there's not a ton of room here. If you want to have, if you are a wordy journaler, which in the past when I've tried to journal, what I find is I might not journal for several months, and then I have so much to write about it takes 3 or 4 pages. There is a purpose and a place and a type of journal for that. For this one, it's more doing, it's hitting highlights, but this is how I'm going to be able to keep up with it. So I'm really excited about that. So, you know, check back in maybe in a few months. I'll do it and let you know how it's working, and hopefully I'll have some fun decorating things that I've done to show you as well. And you can see that I am putting my cute decorating things in there. It's not taking me a lot of time to do that, but you don't have to. You could, you know, put lists in here, or you could do whatever, and the pages themselves have a beauty of their own, and it would be enough. So it's really versatile like that. So now I'm going to move to the back of it and just explain kind of what I'm doing with the rest of my journal. Again, I used the Chloe paper, and I made some dividers, and I haven't done anything with them. I didn't tab them on purpose because I made kind of follow-up tabs for them that I've put behind this. It's almost like a dashboard, but it's just made using our Zoe paper. Now, I haven't decorated this because this is kind of one of these evolving things through the year, and as I go back, if I want to put quotes or something that I want to put on there, I want to have the freedom to do that. So that's the divider page, and this is my first one, and this is this year's goals. Now, how I made this, again, I used the Zoe paper, and I used a complementary color. I believe this is Glacier, and I started by taking this ruler that comes with the pack here and measuring it, and I believe I made these two the exact same size. I did, and I used my crocodile to corner around it, and I just cut it with my paper cutter. Then I went back. I love graph paper, and I have this really, it looks old, it's starting to yellow, I don't know how old it is, but this old composition book that I found at my grandmother's house when she passed away, and I wanted it because I love this old paper, and I thought this would be super fun to do something with. At the time I didn't know what. And then also there was a sketch in the back that I saved It was probably something my grandmother was thinking about quilting, because my grandmother was a quilter. So that's probably why she had this in the first place. So I pulled some of the papers from that, and I cut it down to the same size as the pages, and I started. So I started doing goals. Now, I am not a big resolution person, but I realized that there are some specific things in my life that I want to see happen this year. And so I'm not calling them resolutions still, I'm calling them goals. And so I started putting them down. And so it's still early January, so I don't have a lot going on in here yet. Although you'll see down here, I say journal every day. And it's pretty faint, but again, I'm using my friction pins, and it's all about the color for me. I can read it. I'm fine with it. I want to read 4 devotional or women's type books or self-help or something like that books. So the one I've started actually is a book called Fit for the Master. And then I've chosen my first, I called it the 4 fun books. I am an avid reader, but that's one of the things in the last few years of life and then different hobbies taking over that I've kind of let slip. And so my goal is to read 12 4 fun books. So this is going to be the first one. I'll have to tell you if I like it or not, and if it's a good book, because I don't even know. So if you've read that and it's not a good book, let me know. If it's a good book, don't tell me the plot, and I'll let you know if it's good or not. And then I started coming over here and doing my household goals for the year and the things that I want to declutter. And I've color-coded it and made it kind of pretty. I've not done a lot of decorating, but just kind of had fun with it. Different projects I want to do, different outdoor projects that we need to get done on our yard. And then I have some blank space to add to it, either as things are done or as things grow. I can add to it. And so then I come to the next section, again, another blank piece for me to decorate as the year goes. And then I chose my word of the year. And my word of the year this year is courage. And I'm not going to go into a lot of that because that could be a whole video in and of itself. But the short version of it is I tend to be rather fearful. And it's crazy things, and I know that I can trust the Lord in things, but my brain and my mind sometimes don't agree with each other when I'm dealing with those. So my word of the year is courage. And so as I come across, I started by writing the definition of courage in here from dictionary.com. And then as I come across various scripture passages, which this is what this first one is, or different quotes or whatever that I find to put in here, I'm going to add to it and work on that for this year. And then my final section in here, this is kind of the health and fitness section. Now, I am not a health and fitness person at all. In fact, that's probably one of my biggest of many downfalls right now. And I decided, you know what, I've got to write it down because I'm more likely to get it done if I write it down and do it. So I have not started out this year great. Part of it is just I have felt so lousy. I just haven't even felt like exercising at all. But my husband and I are working on how we're going to make that happen for both of us, because we both need to do that. And then I will start filling in the little boxes. And all I did is I put 1 through 31 across the top, and then each day as I exercise, I will color in and fill in. So you can see I've got some work to do. The next thing that I'm really bad about is water. Probably my primary vice is my Diet Coke. I love my Diet Coke and my morning cup of coffee. And because of that, and I actually do have, for today, I did drink some water, so that's good. But I actually don't drink enough water at all, or some days any. When you see days 1 through 7 here with no numbers, that's because there was no water. That ice and Diet Coke counts, right? No, it really doesn't. So that is my goal. I've got to start drinking water and start decreasing the Diet Coke. So that is my goal for that this year. And again, those may expand and go on. Now in the back of my journal, that's where I keep this pocket page, because there's really not anything particular right now I'm doing with it. It does hold my stickers in case I use them. I've actually used them in my other planner. I haven't even used it in this one at all. And then I have just a few extra pages here for on-the-go memory keeping, so that if I have something, I can just move it in, and then I keep the rest of them with my journal stuff. So there is my planner function and what I'm doing with it. I hope that it inspires you to think outside of the box. You know, we use our planners to keep our lives organized and scheduled, and that's what I do with my other planners. That's what I'm trying to do with my other planners. This one is going to be about just reflecting on things that are going on, how to make myself a better person so that I'm better able to take care of my family, better able to accomplish my job, but most importantly, better able to serve my Lord. So that is my planner layout, and I really hope that you are inspired to get out there and journal, even if it's in a composition book. Just get out there and start planning. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.